We have orders from the king. Have you any last words?
Your king was nothing more than an illusion my grandfather conjured up.
You'd better start explaining, Merlina.
Merlina! You! How did you come by that scabbard? Where is the king?
Wait.
This was all he left after he disappeared in a puff of smoke.
Just like one of the knights of the underworld.
There was never any King Arthur.
Huh?
Well done. And thank you, Sonic. With this scabbard, I can erase my grandfather's greatest mistake.
What?
I shall make this kingdom eternal.
Sonic, get back!
Now that wasn't fucking awesome. I don't know who you are. Hello everybody and welcome back to Sonic and the Black Knight. And this time, well, it turns out we've been put through quite the ringer. Merlina was the bad guy all along. So, there is a lot to explain here, especially considering like Arthurian lore a little bit. So, Merlina has a grandfather. This is Merlin. Merlin originally raised King Arthur, or in this case made King Arthur, which turned out to be an illusion, and that illusion had been corrupted by the scabbard's power, which Mimu had given King Arthur the scabbard. So, yeah, something. All of a sudden, King Arthur became a knight of the underworld in himself. This is why I believe I had said that King Arthur is supposedly a townsperson, but at the same time he's not, because he never really existed at all. So, yeah, quite the dilemma we're in as the entire castle is collapsing and we gotta get the hell out of Dodge. Also, supposedly Excalibur, there's one thing I want to bring up, is that the scabbard is actually fairly inconsistent in its size, because when Sonic holds it, it looks fucking huge. However, in the King Arthur, when he tries to revive himself for the second time, it looks so tiny. But in the opening cutscene, if you remember correctly, it actually looks like it should fit his sword, which is named Death Caliber, by the way. Death Caliber is essentially Excalibur, except it was also tainted by Arthur's dark power, and then it split into the four sacred swords, being Caliburn, Arundite, Galatine, and Levitine. And that's why bringing all four together is supposed to neutralize the power of the scabbard and allow Sonic to kill King Arthur, essentially. So that's what happened there. But yeah, the size is inconsistent, but in the beginning it's supposed to look like it's supposed to fit. I don't know, I've always noticed that as well. It's just like, why? How could you do such a thing? Anyway, that's pretty much the gist of what's going on here now.
Somewhere past this water temple.
I better watch my step.
Ah, damn it, I didn't group them up perfectly. There's a way you can group them up perfectly, and you only have to do it like twice, 2 swings. Anyway, you know, this stage is really too short to warrant a, what was it, an 8-minute timer? Yeah, I kid you not, we have 8 minutes to finish this stage, and it's only been, oh no, it's a 7-minute timer, and it's only been 3 minutes. This stage is way too short. I feel like if it was longer or had a shorter timer, it would add to the intensity of the mission. Maybe like making it 5 minutes. That feels like a nice number.
You have as much fun as I did?
But yeah, having it 7 minutes is way too much.
Just made it.
That's just my opinion though.
So, it was all part of Merlina's plot.
It keeps spreading.
It's only a matter of time before the kingdom is consumed.
The Knights of the Round Table! Must we simply stand and watch our kingdom's ruin?
Gawain.
What? Are you gonna give up just like that? Is that the best that chivalry of yours can do?
How dare you!
Listen, it's like I said before. Isn't there more to being a knight than serving a king?
Sir Sonic is right. And there's still time if you act now. Use the sacred swords to form a barrier around the castle.
For the kingdom and its people!
For the kingdom and its people!
I'm counting on you.
Sir Sonic, what will you do?
Once the barrier's up, I'll look for a chance to jump in.
Surely you jest.
Nah, it's just how I roll.
Fare thee well. We too shall fulfill our appointed task.
Multiple playable characters! 3 Knights of the Round Table are now usable. And they're the only Knights of the Round Table that you can use. So we have just opened up 3 new stages. These are in the corresponding spots of where we fought the Knights of the Round Table, so that's the order I'm going to be replaying them in. If you really want more replayability for these stages other than 5-star and followers, or something to help you with the followers,
It must be nearby.
these quotes are something you can get to see every time you play with a different character. I'd say Sonic and Caliburns are probably the most worth getting to see, just because it furthers that kind of duo a little bit. But either way, the 3 Knights of the Round Table, they play exactly like Sonic except worse. Or funner, depending on what you say. Arguably, you can say every playable character ever has been a remix of Sonic, but worse. But anyway, Shadow here, or Lancelot, sorry. Lancelot here in particular, I find is hella slow with doing all of this shit. Because he takes a few minutes to do his homing slash, and that's usually my main way of attacking other than Soul Surge, which he does a chaos control, but at the same time his Soul Surge, you can see, is kind of slow here, and it also takes more of the gauge up more than, say, Sonic's would. It also doesn't stop time, so what's the point of chaos control if you're not going to stop time? And you know, it's also funny that along with chaos control, he also has his rocket boots still with him. You know, I mean, it is Shadow, medieval magic, you know. I mean, our companion is a wizard after all, so magic isn't out of the realm of possibilities for stuff like this. Either way, once again, you can just blast through all these dangerous obstacles by just doing speed break. I don't know why I'm not doing it, it's just because I'm an idiot. Anyway, we also have a new enemy here, the Eye Ones. Well, that sucked. Oh, shit. I don't know how I always die at least once playing Lancelot, no matter the stage. Anyway, these Eye Ones, they will crawl towards you, but they will also shoot lasers at you. They don't have any variations, but they can be pretty annoying because they can either block you off or they will continue to break your stance, which will cause you to go into a loop, allowing you to get killed no matter what. It's very annoying. It's happened so many times.
I must hurry on to the stone.
I should also mention that none of these characters are playable in any blue mark stages. So everything before Knight's Passage, you cannot play as the Knights of the Round Table in. I don't know why. It's not like it would have been game breaking the code. But, you know, maybe at one point they decided to, but scrapped it. That's it?
All's well that ends well.
We're in a crisis right now, Lancelot. I don't think it's an ends well situation.
This must be a barrier stone. This stone is but part of the ring that sealeth the Dark Hollow. Dark Hollow? What is Merlina up to now?
So along with multiple playable characters, if we go into the blacksmith, we now have everything unlocked here. So we can change our style, which only applies to Sonic. Once again, we have multiple styles, but we won't go over them. We'll just stick with Knight style. Equipment, once again, we can attach anything we need to it. Points for defeating enemies with Soul Surge, immune to paralysis, yada yada yada. But you may notice that that is on Shadow. That's right. Every Knight of the Round Table can hold their own perks and items. Sonic and Shadow only have 2, Gawain only has 1 for some unholy reason, and Percival gets 3. Truth be told, they're not really that helpful. I was able to get a majority of 5 stars just having basic EXP kind of multipliers with the perfect hit and stuff like that, so that's the stuff you're looking for if you want to go for 5 stars. And sort of after followers too. So this is a crafting mechanic. The Knights of the Round Table can have different weapons and they will have the different styles. This is essentially the styles for the Knights of the Round Table, which is, it's nice that they added it, but at the same time, you kind of need a lot in order to craft anything. Like, look, I can go through here, I don't have anything to craft. And a lot of this stuff depends on rarity and all that stuff, and I just remember wanting to finish crafting all of those so bad. Okay, next up, with that out of the way, the Great Megalith with Gawain. And this stage, oh boy.
Inside of a fortification? I'll just have to smash my way in there. Take this! Ha! Ha! Ha!
Holy crap, does this music hit hard. Don't get me wrong, it's not my favorite track, but don't get me wrong, it is a good soundtrack. It is a good part of the soundtrack. It's just so, it stands out so much. And Gawain is essentially, his playstyle is a hack and slash. It's kind of how I like to see it, because he will just kind of sit there and wait for enemies to come to him and just tear shit up. He'll also move forward slightly, so you can get some mileage out of that, but after like a little bit, there's not much. Also, he can glide! He can glide in this game. So, yeah, that's nice. You can use that to skip annoying enemies in this stage particularly. Also in the Cauldron, there is many annoying sections in that stage, but I would still just recommend playing as Sonic, because he's just... You're so used to controlling him at this point that having to control someone with like either a slower style or just a funky way of jumping, or somewhat just kind of slows down the pace of moving with your sword and swinging. It's kind of unnatural after a while, because at this point you've been playing for like what, about an hour or two now? That's probably about the good estimate. Alright, I should show off his Soul Surge. His Soul Surge is what we saw in his boss fight, so yes, that means the Soul Surge will be what we saw, will be a move that we saw in the boss fight. I wonder which one's Percival's. Maybe it's the one that sucks ass. It only makes sense, right? This thing can cut down multiple enemies if they're in a row and coming head on. So really it's only helpful for this situation, but at the same time it is a cool effect. Yeah. Knuckles doesn't have a homing attack, by the way. That is replaced by his glide. So really the closest thing you're gonna get is to kind of accurately play with just holding down and then knowing when to land. Because it's fairly direct, it shouldn't cause you too much trouble. And overall, Gawain is probably one of the best to control, second to Sonic maybe, I'd say. Just because he's still efficient, but he's not as efficient as Sonic in these stages. You know, if Platinum Games could get to work on like a Sonic hack and slash with, once again, a kind of idea for this in terms of what the characters have, because yeah, Knuckles wielding two swords kind of fits him, considering he's boxing, uses two hands anyway. It really does fit him. Oh cool, we got someone's car keys. They're prison keys, I know, but why wouldn't they be car keys sometimes?
Here it is! Yeah! When the sacred sword pierces stone, so shall return the power. What of Excalibur, greatest of all sacred swords? The king wore its scabbard, but I never saw the sword itself.